Now, since I've been on this healing journey, of the seven sacred teachings, the one I'm most in depth with right now at this stage of my healing is honesty. Start with myself.
At 68 years old, and after over 20 years in prison, Doc is finishing his sentence at Waseskun Healing Lodge, where he's gotten in touch with his emotions and his Mi'kmaq culture.
You had never seen these tears before. Because the life I lived, it was a sign of weakness in the world I came from.
Waseskun is a healing center and minimum security prison 100 kilometers north of Montreal for Indigenous men. It's the only center of its kind west of Manitoba and incorporates elder teachings, healing circles, art, and traditional ceremonies that you can't find in conventional prisons, like the bear ceremony.
Bear ceremony is we let out all the hurt and pain, anger, frustration, all the garbage that people carry. We let it out into the ceremony by screaming or crying or, whatever you need to do.
Ralph White, a Mi'kmaq prisoner from Newfoundland, just got parole after 20 years in prison. He's now using Waseskun as his halfway house and runs a healing circle for the other men.
You get to see what's inside, really dig deep and see what hurt and pain that you've gone through. Because you don't only hurt yourself, but sometimes you hurt others around you, right? Because of that pain.
Waseskun recently hosted a gathering earlier this month to share their methods and philosophy. Workers from Correctional Services Canada, or CSC, parole officers, and community workers came together to network and learn.
What other resources do we think that we can tap into besides our friendship centers, employment opportunities, housing? You mentioned housing over there and things like that because of our high homelessness population, right?
My expectations. I'd like to collaborate.
Carrie Thompson, a Métis and Cree CSC agent in Ontario, has worked a lot with Waseskun in her career. She says more healing lodges need to get built, and CSC needs to give
the opportunity for parole officers, the rest of the case management team to be able to experience the healing lodge, whether it's Waseskun or whether our other healing lodges, to understand the work that's really done here, right? So it's not always correctional programming, it's more culture-based.
There are often long wait times to get into the program. Doc worked with Waseskun for 5 years before he could be transferred there. Indigenous prisoners have to be classified as minimum security to attend Waseskun. But in 2018, the Supreme Court said that the tool used to determine security classifications was discriminatory towards Indigenous people.
There is a formula that is used for non-Native people. If you're Asian, Caucasian, or Black, you get that formula. But if you're Native, they don't use that same formula. We have our own formula, which is way different than that formula.
Charlie Commando has worked with prisoners for decades. He says that despite the high demand for healing centers, Waseskun is rarely at capacity.
They basically don't send us a whole lot of people over there. It's up and down. It goes back and forth. They nickel and dime us. They give us peanuts, but Correctional Services has everything to help them individuals, but they don't help them.
The center depends on CSC to send them clients, and its funding is based on the amount of people registered. Carrie Thompson says that CSC's resources for Indigenous inmates are improving, but there is still a lot of work to do.
You can't heal within a prison setting, right? So it's one thing for the individuals to come down and meet with an elder or spiritual advisor, even in the Indigenous programming, kind of to drop those masks and have those interventions, but then they have to put that mask back on and go back to the range because they need to survive.
For men like Doc and Ralph, dropping that mask can change everything.
This place here with Sessions gave me more than I could ever ask for, more than I hoped for when I came here. Because wasn't even just a sense of belonging. It gave me a sense of belief, you know. And the fact is, you know, the medicines are real. The medicines are strong.
Emilia Fournier, APTN National News, Saint-Alphonse-Rodriguez, Quebec.